Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I should have turned my camera around and just did this in the dark, but whatever. Y'all gonna see me on this one. My last live, it was in the dark, but there was a lot of gems in there. Go back and check that out. That was how to make your money work for you. This one is about how to spot a loser quickly so you don't waste your time. Now, I know that everybody an expert, everybody know, but if everybody really was an expert, there wouldn't be so many posts and videos about, people being used and all of these different things that happen to people and the dating pool having P in it and blah, 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 blah. So I want people to know really quick how to identify that you talking to a loser so you can go on about your business and go to the next person. All right? Some of these gonna be common sense, some of these gonna be things that you didn't even think about looking at. So let's go. Make sure you like and subscribe. Alright, so if you never been on here before, I'm gonna go in different directions. Okay, so just be ready. Alright, so here's some ways to find out to see if they're a loser. If they don't have a vehicle, like if they don't have their own transportation and they are over, let's say over 25, okay? If they're under 25, let's say they 21, 22, they might have just learned how to drive. They might have just got their license. They might, still be building to get a car. Okay, I'm talking about people at big grown ages. All right, to me, anybody under 25 is like still a kid. You still figuring stuff out. You supposed to be broke. You're not really supposed to have too much at them ages. Okay, you supposed to be working towards something. Matter of fact, let me focus on that population for just a minute. A person that's a loser that's under 25, it looks like this. They not working towards nothing. That's the stage you're supposed to be working towards something. If you are under 25, let's say you meet somebody, let's say you 21, and you meet this guy, he's 21 or 22 or even 23, right? And he does not have any sort of transportation, meaning you could live somewhere where there's public transportation, right? And he don't even have a bus card. He doesn't have a card to be able to, like, we live in Dallas, we got the dart. He don't have a dart card and he's 21. Nobody's expecting him to have a brand new car and high ass insurance and everything like that, especially if he's, in school and things like that, right? But if he's not working towards anything, if he's not making his own moves and he's waiting to use your vehicle, or he's constantly just walking where he has to go, and there's no bicycle, there's no motorcycle, there's no other means of transportation that's going to get him from A to B faster, he's probably a bum. Okay, if he under 25 and he is not in school or military or some sort of training program, he probably a bum. All right. If he, hello, how you doing? If he is under 25 and he, that's the biggest one. If he not in school, military, or some sort of training program, that's a big one. If he under 25 and he's telling you about how he plans to start these things, he's still a loser because he should be currently doing that. He should be actively doing that. That should not be something that he's just talking about doing. Okay? If he is under 25 and he is not gainfully employed anywhere, meaning he's not at an entry level position where he's gaining traction to go higher in wherever that he works, or if he is not interning, because he might be broke under 25. He might be broke but not a bum. He might be broke but not a loser. Okay, if he in college and he's interning, you can expect that he don't have a whole lot. You can expect that y'all lunch might be in the cafeteria at the college. Okay, that don't make him a loser. That means he working towards something. All right. If y'all are in y'all early 20s, late teens, early 20s, this live really ain't totally for y'all. But just wanted to put them tidbits in there. This is what it looked like when they under 25 and not doing well. Okay. Um. So if there's no ambition, no drive, they're not doing anything to get anywhere and they're under 25. Those are the losers in training. Okay? Those are the men that grow up to be the men I'm about to talk about. Okay? All right. So, now, once they hit 25 and over, cuz 25, you've been out of school at least what, 6, 7 years? Maybe a little more, depending on how old you was when you graduated, or if you graduated, okay, or at least got your GED or something. Once you 25, you should have some sort of education, whether it's a GED or diploma, whatever. You should have something. You should have at least a certification in something. You should have at least one college degree. You should have your associate degree. I had my bachelor's degree before I was 25. No, actually, I was done with my bachelor's before I turned 25. I graduated, walked across the stage right after my 25th birthday. Okay? And I had a son. How you doing? Okay? So if this person don't have no children, no nothing, and they ain't even going to school, they not trying to do anything, learn a trade, anything, they're a loser. Okay. Um, if they if they are 25 and above and they are not working for a company that is training them something, like, let's say they working in a company in a warehouse and they learn a forklift to get they I'm pretty sure some sort of certification for a forklift driver. Okay. If they are getting on the job training to be something that they can, take with them, so that if they were to leave that employer, they have something else, that's cool. That they not a loser then. Okay. But if they not working nowhere and they not working towards anything, loser. Super loser. If they are working at McDonald's, so anywhere that's, fast food, quick, and they have not by 25 and up moved into any higher position, like they're the manager, they're the shift manager, they are the I don't know, the district manager, anything like that, and they working in food service, loser. Super loser. um because they should be elevating. Okay. If they are 25 plus and they work in a call center and they only take calls and they're not trying to excel and do anything else, loser. Okay. They are trying to stay at this level, they're not trying to do nothing else. Okay. Again, when you young, you in your mid to late 20s, and you building, that's cool. But if that's where they're staying, if they don't have no aspirations, no anything, they're not enrolled in anything else, you know, um, I worked through being in call centers for years while I was finishing and completing my bachelor's degree. Okay. Um, I knew people that was, working on their CDL or working on their welder license or certifications, different things, while they worked with me in them call centers. Okay. So if they're doing jobs that are gonna lead to like nothing, or if they're not moving up in any sort of way and they 25 plus, you probably dealing with a loser. If he 25 and above and don't have no car, loser, big loser. Only way that you be 25 and up and not have a car and not be considered a loser is if you live somewhere like, say, Chicago or New York, somewhere where the land mass is not that much, and they have public transportation to take you everywhere. Okay, subway, the L, you know what I'm saying, can get you everywhere you need to go. If you in Chicago, you could get by without having a car for a long time. I know people that have done it and was fairly successful people. You know what I'm saying? Um, Same thing with New York. I mean, you could ride the subway with somebody that make $1 million. Like it's different, right? Um, but in most places, in most cities and states, it's too vast, it's too broad. You need to have a vehicle in order for you to really get around. Okay. Now if they have some sort of vision issue or physical issue that prevents them from being able to drive or whatever, that's one thing. But usually when you meet these people that's over 25 that don't have adequate transportation, don't have a car, guess what? It be because their license is revoked, suspended, they got DUIs, they got something going on where they ability to drive is has been impacted. Okay, something that they did somewhere along the way has made it where they can't drive, where they can't get that license. Okay, if they have a driver's license and they don't have a vehicle and they walking using a bicycle, whatever, and you decide to deal with them and you got a car, just know that in a minute they're gonna be looking for you to be a chauffeur. Okay? Tread lightly, because you might be dealing with a loser. Okay? Another way you can know that you're dealing with a loser is a man who has children, but he don't never had them children. If a man tell you that he have kid, he over 25. I wouldn't care if he under 25 when it come to this one now. But he any age and he have children and you never see him with them kids. You never hear him talk about them kids. Nothing. Or all you do is hear him talk about the kids, but he's never with them. You never call him and he be like, hey, I'm with my kids. Right now I'm doing such and such or whatever. I'll call you later. Da, 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 da. Okay. Loser. If he got kids and he do be having them and he quick to let you be around the kids, like he just met you and he wants you to come by today, tomorrow, this week, and I'll see my kids. Loser, super loser, and he wants you to be a stepmama. Super loser, and he looking for an additional babysitter. Super loser, and he looking for some help with them kids. Super loser, and he using you liking him as a father to these kids to get more like end better with you. I done seen men do this. I done seen men that don't even have kids use kids as a way to get women. Because a woman be like, oh, that's so cute. He's so good with his nephew. He's so good with it. And he be a loser, a womanizer, a whole bunch of shit. Okay? People who really care about their kids is not finna let you just be around their kids like day one. They gonna have all these different things to say about their kids as positive. They're gonna be trying to gauge where you at when it comes to you and your children and stuff. They might be they gonna arrange like a play date, like between y'all kids. It's gonna be some structure in there. They gonna need to know some things about you before they even let you be around their kids, because they not trying to introduce every random chick to their kid, because they're not a loser. But a loser, oh yeah, baby. They want to put you on around them kids quick. They want you to be baby mama number two, baby mama number three. All right, because they're a loser. Okay. Um, if he is over 25 and he don't have his own place, now, having your own place and having roommates, especially in this economy, hey, I wouldn't say that the person is a loser. He might be very financially savvy, especially if him and his roommates are pooling their resources and doing, what's called crowdfunding, to in order to have more. Maybe they putting their money together so they can buy a building, or they putting their money together so they can buy a multifamily. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You find out the ins and outs to that though. If it's a roommate situation, um, who paying the most rent? Is they paying the most rent and them other people staying with them, or is they paying twos and fews staying with them people? Is they sleeping on the couch? Do they have their own room? You know, because sometimes friends be having friends as bums and they help them. Oh yeah, that's Mike. He just be on the couch. Mike might throw in $20 a month. Mike's a bum. Mike's a loser. And you come over there and you on the couch with Mike. Because you ain't recognize Mike as a loser. Okay? Oh, well, he got a place to go. He got somewhere to take us or whatever. Bitch, he on the couch. He don't have his own space in the house. They tell me he not paying no adequate rent. Keep up. Okay? Pay attention. Okay? Because people show they loser hand all the time. You just got to be looking. Okay? All right. So if he making a pallet on the floor, he sleeping on the air mattress, he on the couch, he probably a loser. Okay, he living with them, he staying with them. He don't necessarily live there. He might not even be receiving no mail there. Okay, or maybe that's all he can get. Okay, because he dealing with a loser. All right. Um, if he have his own place and it's roommates, but the other roommates is dusty and he trying to portray to you that he not, he probably a loser. Cause birds of a feather what flock together. Pay attention to them friends. If his friends is losers, 9 times out of 10, it's some saying that if you hang around five broke people, you gonna be the sixth one. If you hang around five millionaires, you gonna be the sixth one. Okay, so watch them friends. If they losers, he probably a loser too. Okay, all right. And I keep saying he or whatever, but this apply to women as well, you know, on a lot of levels. Okay, so men don't feel left out, but I mostly talk to women because that's who the bulk of my audience is based on the analytics. All right, moving on. Um, let's see, the apartment one. Oh, if he have his own place, but it is extremely raggedy. If he have his own place and it's extremely raggedy, and he act like he don't see the raggediness of it. Now we all got to start somewhere. Everybody start from the bottom they get here, right? If he got a raggedy place and he is not a loser, he's working to do better than that. You know what I'm saying? If he got a raggedy place, he not a loser. He gonna keep it as clean as possible. He gonna have it looking as feng shui as possible. He gonna try to dress it up, make it nice, because this is a temporary stop for him. Because in his heart, in his mind, he's not a loser. He's just in this place at this moment. The rent was cheap enough at this moment, and that's what he got. You know what I'm saying? He's making financially sound decisions, and he's not trying to live above his fucking means. Okay, that's a man you might want to get behind. Okay, uh, but if he got a raggedy crib and it's looking like Joe's apartment, I don't know if you ever seen this movie, Joe's apartment. The dude's living amongst all them roaches and shit. If he got a raggedy, nasty house and it's dishes in the sink, it's drawers on the floor, he not keeping it in any nice, condition. It's just, looking run down and gross. And he just chilling. He playing a video game. He just eating pizza and laying it on the floor. Like he's comfortable in that situation. Major loser. Major loser. Look up 5 years. He's going to still be there or worse. Okay? Super loser. Okay? So you got to watch. Just because the dude got his own crib, he could still be a loser. You got to look at how is he keeping his crib? How did he keep his clothes? How he keep his closet? Is it clean? Is it at least organized? If it's not, super pristine condition, is it organized? Does it make sense how it's laid out? Okay, it don't have to be the nicest. You know what I'm saying? But you can tell by how a person is living. Okay. Also, you could tell uh if it look like he changed clothes and he goes somewhere every day. You come over there and this person look like that and had on the same t-shirt all week with the same stains on it that you seen when you came over here a couple days ago. Baby, he's a loser. He been laying in there playing World of Warcraft or whatever fuck people be playing on them games. He been playing Fortnite for 2 days straight and he not moving. except to make a sandwich. If he did that, you see half of the sandwich dry on the floor. Loser. Okay? If he has hair and he does not keep a haircut, big loser. Or if he have locks or something and he don't keep his locks maintained and he at least wash them and stuff and he looking dusty, big loser. Super loser. Okay? If he I don't know who that is. If he doesn't keep himself up as far as his physical appearance, right? Don't mean that he have to wear the this. And I'm gonna get to labels in a second, but it don't mean that he have to be always dressed apart. Okay, cause some dudes don't really know how to dress. Some dudes really need a stylist. Some dudes really need a woman input to say, no, baby, you need to put this with this, and then they be on point. Okay, most men don't know how to dress that great without some woman help. They mama, they sister, somebody helped them. Okay, most of the time. Okay, men don't just fall out the sky with drip. No, that's usually not how it works. Somebody taught them something at some point. All right. Um, Now if he just looking regular, if he just wear khakis and a hat, a quarter zip or whatever, or just, khakis in a little button up with the white t-shirt underneath, you know what I'm saying, and he got on some regular tennis shoes or some Reeboks or some plain Nikes or whatever, he trying. You know what I'm saying? Dude, did he wash his tail? Is his fingernails nasty up underneath? You know what I'm saying? Do he try to keep himself? Do he brush his teeth? Is his basic hygiene in order? If those things in order and this man get up and do something every day, he might be on to something. But baby, if them clothes wrinkle, if they look like he balled them up and put them in the drawer, you know what I'm saying? He don't even have an iron. He ain't tried. Okay. You look in the bathroom, it might be some toothpaste in there balled up. It might not. He used a mouthwash instead of brushing. The man don't even own no floss, no nothing. Made me itch. He a loser. You can't take him nowhere. Your family gonna laugh him out the reunion. No, loser. Okay? Super loser. If he's not presenting himself to himself, let alone you in a nice way, he a loser. He don't even see the error. He don't even see the issue. You know what I'm saying? Big loser. Okay. So if he don't even try to take care of himself, big loser. This also the type of man that's gonna be looking for you to do it. Okay. Even if this man he wrinkled and gross and he turned out to be something great, he gonna be looking for you to do it. You better hire somebody. Okay. But not most of the time, them is losers. Okay, even the tackiest dudes at least gonna clean their clothes. You know what I'm saying? At least put them in the dryer, make it kind of look like you tried. You know, mm-mm. But if there's no effort, he a loser. Um, okay, another way you can know somebody a loser if he has no primary care provider. Okay, you over 25 and you don't have a primary care, you don't have an actual doctor you go to, you don't have no type of health insurance, you don't have no type of nobody you see, and I don't care. He might be, broke and have the medical card or something. Okay, cool. But even when you get the medical card, you can have a regular doctor that you go see. Even if you're getting some sort of assistance, you can have a regular doctor. This person never goes to the doctor. That means they don't care about their health. If they don't care about their own health, you think they gonna give a fuck about yours? The men that don't have a regular doctor, them the very men that'll bring you something. Sometimes something you can't even get rid of. Okay? Big losers. Heavy on the losers. Big, 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 big losers. Who else a loser? How else do you spot a loser? Hold on a second. I got my heating pad on. Child, I'm laying in the bed. Talking about relax. Um, let's see what else. What else? What else? We've covered kids. We've covered. Oh, if they have several baby mothers, and this could be if they real young or older. Okay, if they real young, if they under 25 and they got more than one baby mama, really one baby mama is pushing it. But if they whatever age and they got 2+ baby mamas, they probably a loser. Probably. Especially if they are really, really young. Okay. If they are 25 plus, let's say you 30, you meet somebody, he got two kids, two different baby mamas. He might have been married to one of them. He might have been in committed relationships with both of them. He might have gotten somebody pregnant once while he was in high school, and then later on, got in a relationship. And you know what I'm saying? Possibly, but understand his money is going to be directly affected by those children while y'all are seeing each other. His time is going to be directly affected by those children while y'all see. If he worth anything, okay? So understand what you're getting yourself into. I'm not going to quite say he a loser. He could be. You got to watch some stuff. Most of the time they are, though. Most of the time, because most of the time they are still dealing with the kids' mothers. Most of the time they're not doing a whole lot for the kids, um, or they doing like the bare minimum. Most of the time they are um, halfway absent. Okay, and they just done got somebody pregnant, you know. And then the ones that are not absent, the one that are involved, again, they don't even have time for you. Okay, they don't have time to cultivate no relationship because they're devoting their time to that child, which they should. Okay, so they might not be a loser, but they might not be for you. Choose wisely. Okay. It's all in what you willing to deal with. If you type of woman who you got a bunch of things going on, you don't have no desire to have no kid, and you prefer to meet somebody that already got kids so that they not looking for now from you. You know what I'm saying? That might work. Cause there's a lot of men once they have one or two kids, they're not trying to have no more. They realize this is a lot of work. Oh my lash. They realize this is a lot of work. They realize this is expensive. They realize that this ain't what they thought it was. You know what I'm saying? And they not trying to get every new woman pregnant. They're not. They would like to go on, with this is why you find situations where it's one or two baby mamas, and the man get married to the next woman and he don't have no kids with, cause he done. Okay, he done having kids. He gonna live and enjoy his life the rest of the way with this person who he don't have no children with, and this person you know, might not have no kids, or they got kids, or they kids grown, whatever. But that's another life for another day. Okay, another way to tell if a person is a loser, if he has a Chime, if he only has Chime, Cash App, uh what's another one that people be using? Uh, Green Dot. If he don't have no real bank account and he only have these types of platforms that he deal with as far as his money is concerned, big loser. If he's never walked into a bank institution and set up an account and did anything with an actual bank, don't even have no clue how it worked at all, big loser. Heavy on the loser. Never had a check. Never. Big loser. This lash really pissing me off, and I'm about to take it off. It's on there though, like, but it's, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I could see, but it's just anyway. But let's see. Another way he's a loser. Another way to spot a loser. Um, if he if he asks you for money, if he ever asks you for money, especially in the beginning of your dating phases with him, he's a loser. A man who really he's a loser and he don't like you. Throw that in there. He a loser and he don't like you because if a man like you, he's trying to impress you. He's trying to make you feel a certain way about him. That's not gonna happen with him asking you for money. It's not. He's trying to impress you. He's trying to make you feel a certain way, right? If he don't have no regard for trying to impress you to the point where he's willing to ask you for funds, he a loser and he don't really like you. Cause even a loser, if they like somebody, they gonna at least try to, put on a facade a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna ask their homeboy to front them some money to make it look like they got X, Y, and Z before they ask you. Like, duh. You know what I'm saying? But if they might be real, real, real dense and stupid, which that's a loser too. Somebody who lacks basic knowledge and intelligence. Um, you have a conversation with them and it's like you talking to a child. Loser. Okay. You might want to, matter of fact, I wouldn't even ask them, did they have a IEP or something in school? They might not even know what that means. You know what I'm saying? No. So you can find out really quick if a person is a loser by talking to them, by asking them questions about what they want to do with their life. You can ask them questions about what they have done with their life. Ask them who they bank with. Ask them, do they know their credit score? Not even what's your credit score. Do you know your credit score? Or do you at least know, like, because your credit score, it don't change every day to day. It changed like by the month. You know what I'm saying? If you did something different within 30 to 60 days, something will be done changed. If you paid something off, whatever, within 30 60 days, it might have changed. But you should still have a ballpark idea of what your credit score is. If they like, oh, I don't know, my credit for something, oh, my credit probably like 500, you know, run. You run. You probably dealing with a loser. Only way you could say, well, I'm not dealing with a loser, is if they say I don't have any credit. I've always paid cash for everything. I know a lady right now. Um, now she's since developed some a credit profile. Yes, but matter of fact, she's a family member, and she did not have any sort of credit. Only thing she would have had that would have been like credit would be she owned her house, yes. You know what I'm saying? But she bought her house, you know what I'm saying? I wanna say did she buy her house outright? Like did she buy it I don't know. I don't know. But only thing she had was her home. I don't know if she mortgaged it or bought it outright or whatever. But she did not have like credit cards. She didn't have any of that. Her vehicle um she had her car for a long time. I don't know if she, ever financed the vehicle or what, but she had no clue what her credit score was because she never looked at credit. She got paid, she put her money in her account, some went to retirement, some went here, some went there, and she paid her bills, and if she needed something, she went to the ATM, got the money out and bought it. You know what I'm saying? So there are some people who really don't use credit because they make enough money to be able to handle whatever that they have to handle, especially a person that don't have any children. This particular person didn't have any kids. She had like a dog or something, um, and she definitely, absolutely wasn't a loser, right? So it kind of depends on his situation. So you do have to look at that, right? Um, but definitely, if they don't have any sort of banking, probably a loser. Okay. Um, if they if they don't want to take you on a date, they're a loser. If they say things like, "Oh well, we need to be talking for XYZ amount of time before I take you on a date." Now I understand having a text conversation. I understand having one phone conversation. But for a person to tell you that y'all need to be talking, as in we need to be talking for some period of time, before they decide, like basically if you worthy to take on a date or not, they're a loser. And they trying to see if you stupid, because that few conversations, that few days, that couple weeks gonna turn into months and years of, if y'all get in a relationship, you're not going no damn where. So loser, heavy on the loser. If he is penny pinching on a date, if he take you on a date, but then everything, wherever that y'all go on a date, got to be somewhere cheap, or it's always a Sizzler. It's always the Olive Garden and Applebee's. It's always Chili's. It's always McDonald's. It's always Denny's. It's always some cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's always the Waffle House. It's always Burger King. It's it's never anything fine. It's never them, hey, let's go to this new spot or whatever. And not to say that your dinners have to be mad expensive. They don't. I don't recommend. You know what I'm saying? Expensive, fine dining is okay, to do on a regular basis if you have it like that. But it's not necessary. Okay. Your dinner doesn't have to be, $100 plate in order for it to be a good time. But if he's always and only and forever taking you to subpar places, and then when you get to these subpar places, he got a limit for you. Y'all go to Applebee's and you always ordering off of the, what is that? Two for 20. That's what y'all always getting. Baby, unless y'all been together for XYZ amount of time, honey, and y'all have a collective goal, like we're trying to save this amount of money to buy whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or, whatever the goal is, he should not be penny pinching with you on every single date. Okay? You're probably dealing with a loser. Okay? Um, if he buys you something and keep bringing it up, what he did for you, you dealing with a loser. Okay. If he anything, if he put gas in your car, if he uh gave you some money on, the rest of the hair you was buying, if I don't know, he dropped you off at the nail shop and he handed you $40 to go towards getting your feet done or whatever. If he keep bringing anything up that he's done for you financially or bought you or whatever, you dealing with a loser, because he's counting every single dollar that go out as though it ain't gonna be replaced. You're not only you dealing with a loser, but you're dealing with a person that have a scarcity mindset, which is two very dangerous things. Okay. Um, if he asks, I think I already said if he asks you for money, but if he asks people around you for money, if he asks people around himself for money all the time, if his family and friends getting tired of him asking them for money, guess what's finna happen? You next. If he give you any stories about him owing his family some money, or if they tell you anything about it, trust and believe. Well, he ain't never asked me for nothing. Da, da, da. Watch this. Once y'all get together, especially if y'all start living together or, God forbid, get married. Oh my God. Okay, you next. Your pockets, your wallet, your account is next because you're dealing with a loser, a moocher. Okay. What else makes the person a loser? Um, I feel like I've covered so many things. So many things. I feel like it's one more. I feel like it's one more. I don't know. Oh, if they say things like anything misogynistic, you name it, anything that shows that they have any disdain for women in general. If they say something like women is better in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant, or some shit, or anything about them not respecting women, having thoughts and ideas and individuality, or any, baby, I don't give a fuck how much money they got, who they, you dealing with a loser. Okay? And I want to leave this here. I'm gonna leave this here. If you are dealing with someone who has money, them just having money don't necessarily mean that they're not a loser. Money do not unlame you. Money do not unloser somebody. All right? It helps them be better. It helps them be less of a loser, but they can still definitely be a loser. And for those of us that want to still deal with someone who is a lame, but they got some money, understand that that's who you dealing with. They still a loser. They still a lame. They might have hit the lotto. They might have got lucky. They might have, somebody died, left them some bread. Uh, they might ended up going into a good field that makes, lucrative coin or whatever. But they still lame. They clothes wrinkled. They, whatever that they is. Understand that you have to deal with whatever come with their territory. Okay. Hell, if they make money, but they still want you to put forth your coins, they make enough money to be able to handle and take care of things and provide, but they still want you to put forth something. They still want to go 50-50 with you, even though they have the adequate means to be able to take care of everything. They still a loser and getting scammed. Okay? If you're gonna deal with a person who has great means and they're a loser, you better be figuring out how to siphon some of them coins somewhere and make your escape. You know. But some women like losers. Some women like that's who they drawn to. Some women they drawn to the person who don't have anything going for themselves, or the person who has things going for themselves but they lame as hell. Like some women like that. But if you don't like that and you want to make sure that you're not dealing with a loser, take my advice. Look for those different things. Okay? Toodles. Make sure you like and subscribe. Free game.